Welcome back to All Shades of No. Once again, I am Hepzibah Abdullah Kogi. This is the second video in the series Finding Your It and Staying with It. If you haven't seen the other video, you can always check it out right here on my channel. I'm glad to have you here once more, and let us get to it. In our previous video, we talked about what our it is, how they find expression, and how to point out which one you should take seriously, which one belongs to you. I talked about talent, I talked about interests, I talked about skills, and I talked about knowledge. I also gave examples in each category using myself. I do not want you to have the misconception that you have to have one in each category. There are people who have just taken a hold of, just their talent, or just an interest, or just a skill, and have turned it into something life transforming. You do not have to have all of it. And if you do have something in each category, it doesn't make you better than the person who has something in only one category. When it comes to these things, nobody is better than the other. You have been given what you have been given, or you have chosen what you have chosen, and it is now your responsibility to make something out of it. So, for this second video, we would focus on building your it. So, you have found it. What do we now do about it? Because really, talent without skill is just potential, and skill without direction is really just wasted effort. So you have to find a way to make each and every aspect of it useful to yourself first, and then to the society. Building your it combines talent and skill. If you're starting from the level of skill, that is something you learned, maybe voluntarily or involuntarily, you have basically passed, you have skipped the talent stage, because talent is just, it's just raw, it's just there, it's just something that's a part of you. But for something that is a talent, it will be important for you to make it a skill. Because the thing with things that come naturally to us is, yes, you can do them with ease, but you don't always get it 100% of the time. You don't always get a very good masterpiece or a very, very good result. So, adding skill to talent turns it into something really, really powerful. Building your it helps you combine talent and skill. And when you are adding skill to talent, you have to add knowledge and practice. So you can see why I said all four of them always overlap or intersect. As for interest, you cannot invest in something you are not interested in. So whether it is something you became interested in over time, or it's something you just were born doing, whatever it is, you have to make up your mind. You have to be interested in it for you to turn it into a skill. So, how do I add skill to talent? With knowledge and practice. How do I make it something powerful? For you to do that, you can do that in 3 different ways. We have education, we have employment, and then we have enterprise. The 3 E's, if you will call it that. I mentioned that I am a computer engineer, a writer, a musician, and equally a public speaker. For something like computer engineering, I cannot boldly call myself a computer engineer if I didn't go to school for it, if I wasn't educated in it, right? So there are certain interests you would have that you would want to turn into a skill that you have to go to school. If your interest was medicine, for instance, you can't just sit in your father's house and become a medical doctor, or whatever aspect of medicine you wanted to practice. There are those courses or those things that it is advisable that you go to the university and study for it, that you go to school and study for it. Something like reading and writing, for instance, you don't have to go to school to learn to read and write, but you have to have some form of education. So whether it is formal education, whether it is informal education, education plays a big role in turning what your talent or your interest is into a skill. So you want to become an expert, especially by certificate, and probably remain in academia for research or teaching. So that is the education part. The next one is employment. With this, you want to be able to work for someone, get employed with an organization, and be able to complete tasks and get rewarded for them, get promoted. When you are developing your skill, you're also thinking, okay, what am I trying to go in the direction of employment? Do I want to be able to work for someone, be given work, be given tasks, and I will be able to complete them successfully with results, and then get rewarded for it, whether it is in money, whether it is in equity, whatever it is that you are doing. That is another phase, or should I say another category of the direction in which you will develop skill. Now the third one is enterprise. And here you want to be your own boss, right? You want to create jobs, you want to employ other people and become a full-blown entrepreneur. So you basically want to wing it. You have something that you want to build for yourself. You have something that you want to do for yourself. There's this way that you already know you want your life to go, and you would be happy to bring people on board to be a part of it. Just like the things we talked about in our first video, this one equally overlaps. None of them stand alone just like that. You can have a combination of two out of the three, but in an ideal, very, very ideal situation, the three go together. You are wondering, as a student, everything that we have been talking about is just me, what I already have, what are my interests, what do I want to do, what is that thing that makes me come alive. But I'm a student and I'm in school, and I am not even studying what I wanted to study. I applied for a course, and the school or the system just threw me somewhere, and I'm here. I'm in 200 level, 300 level, and I really don't even know what's going on here. I'm just doing stuff to pass so that I can be done with just this degree and just be able to tell people, oh, I went to school, I have a certificate. I don't even know if I want to work in this aspect. It is a very, very dangerous and expensive thing in our day and time to spend 4 years or more in a higher institution, graduate, come out, and just dump it somewhere and be done with it. That is why we are talking about finding our it right now. Because as a student, your academic life is very important and plays a very important role in combining talent and skill or knowledge, especially in the aspect of education. Now, I will give an example with myself. Like I said, I studied computer engineering, and by talent, I am a writer. Like I mentioned earlier, I am a computer engineer by education, and I am also a writer. Luckily for me, computer engineering is something I was interested in. Like I said, I grew up around computers, and honestly, my teachers in secondary school, especially my computer and physics teacher, played a very, very important role in guiding me towards choosing to study computer engineering. So I already had interest down. I get to computer engineering, I'm studying the course. There are so many things, there are so many aspects of computer engineering. But I also love to write. If I am going to practice this for the rest of my life as a profession, where does my talent come into play? Do I have to forget about my talent and just put it to one side just because I wasn't born a computer engineer? No. And I think about it, if I was into computers, it means I'm into technology, right? If I put technology side by side with writing, what can that do for me? I can become a technical writer. That is a whole profession. I just extracted something from computer engineering, took out something from one of my talents, and there you go. Because of my technical knowledge, I'm also a musician. I would probably compose songs for ads. I mean, for gadgets and stuff like that. You know, the way you sing to that kind of ad is different from if you were singing a love song, right? To go further, think about Microsoft Windows. You know, in those, especially those earlier version of Windows, you know, when you turn on your computer, there's this sound that comes. Dun, 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 dun. I don't even know if I said the notes right. And when you're shutting down, we all know. Dun, 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 dun. It is not a tech bro that wrote those notes or that combined those things to give them their signature sound. It is someone who does music. So I could be that person that writes ringtones for brands. You just imagine I was the person that wrote the Apple, that composed the Apple ringtone. Or I was the person that composed all those sounds that they use in all of these gadgets. Think about people who are very good impressionists, who are able to manipulate their voices to sound the way they want it to sound. Think about voice actors. Your Bluetooth device is connected successfully. Those people, they made a career out of something that was their talent. They are using it in technology, right? Let's assume you were studying something that you did not plan to study. Now, I would use this example. This talk was originally delivered to a group of agricultural students. And because of this, I got to like talk with a lot of them, you know, relate with a lot of them. Now, there's this guy I discovered on LinkedIn. He's studying agricultural science in Ahmad Bello University, but he's very interested in photography and he is really, really good at it. His content on LinkedIn is taking pictures of certain agricultural, how do I put it now? You know, whether plants or animals. He sees something interesting. It's probably an insect, something beautiful, a plant, or he'll see something in its habitat, you know, just something they were taught in class. He'd see an example in real life and take a really, really good picture of it, post it, and write something about it that would, you know, maybe just a fun fact. It's not a full-blown agri class with scientific names and terminology. He'll just say something really relatable and fun about it. And it is really, really beautiful to see. Someone like that can become he can become a Nigel Wild photographer. I don't know if you see what I'm seeing. He can take pictures for, you know, life science magazines or cultural, you know, books and things like that. Just he can become a nature photographer. So he's combining his skill, his interest, and what he's studying. I don't know if he originally wanted to study agriculture or he has just seen an opportunity in it. But he's doing something beautiful and it's something that everyone can do. So, what is that course that you're studying in the university? It's probably something you don't even like. What is that thing that you do like? That thing you are interested in? That thing that you like doing? Where does what you are currently studying and what you actually like, where does it intersect? What can you bring out of it? What opportunity can you see in that situation? Because let's be honest, a lot of the job roles that we have nowadays, those things that is now your dream, those things that you say, oh, I want to become this, I want to do this with my life, I want to follow this career path. They were things that other people like you came up with. They did not exist when human beings were first created, but people saw opportunities in their situations, even in negative situations, in bad situations. They, you know, used their brains, used their talents, used their interests, put something together and was like, oh, we can do this, right? So that is actually the goal of this series. Life and time is currently, especially in our days, too precious for you to spend 4 years or more in the university and then decide that I didn't even want to study this in the first place. I'm throwing it away. Don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that this is what everybody must do. There is a place for that. It's okay to pivot. It's okay if you now have the opportunity to do what you are truly interested in, for you to damn the consequences, risk everything and go for it. But before you do that, before you go to the extreme, before you take that risk out of the blue, have you tried to make something out of what you currently have? Have you asked yourself, where does my interest and the course I'm currently studying intersect? If I'm an agriculture student and I like to sing, is it possible for the two to come together? If I'm in agriculture and I like to talk, is it possible that it comes together? If I'm just a funny guy and I do a lot of comedy, how can this thing find expression in this professional environment? Whatever it is that you do, you can always make something new, something important out of it, because really, it's not the ordinary, it's not what everybody knows that makes waves. It's unique stuff. It's things that people have not seen before, and it doesn't even have to be something that nobody has ever seen before. You can just find a new and a better way to do it. Make it unique to you. Make it something that only you can do. And from there, you've found your way. You've found what to build your it upon. My desire is that you do not graduate from the university and then you feel these 4 years, these 5 years, these 6 years were a waste. It is all this knowledge that I gathered in the lecture hall, in the lecture theater for the past, whether you're in 200 level, 2 years, whether even if you're in 100 level, the past few months. If you're in 300 level, the past 3 months, 3 years. If you're in 400 level, the past 4 years. All those things that the lecturers have come and been saying to us day in, day out. What can I pick and put together with what I'm good at and become something memorable to myself and to the society around me? Think about it. Do all that you can do. Let it be that you have tried it all, and if all fails, then you can abandon it all and move forward. Let it not be that you spend 4 years of your life and then you come out and you say there is nothing that this course has to offer me. Remember, every course you go to the university to study is an umbrella that has so many other professional, specializations under it. For instance, I studied computer engineering, but I am particularly interested in networks. Yeah, I was a very oddball in my class. A lot of people do not like networking. A lot of people don't like to, didn't like the classes, didn't like the calculations that came with it. But that was where I thrived. I liked the concept of networking. So I decided to look more into networks. I am a tech bro, but I hate programming. I do not like it. I do not enjoy it. So I went into networking. And when I had to write code for networks, I enjoyed it. Do you see? Programming on its own is something I don't want to sit down and be writing code in Python for hours. But if I need to configure a network device, I would gladly do it. And inside network engineering, I stumbled upon cloud computing. I've done cloud computing, gone into cloud engineering, and currently I'm making my way through DevOps engineering. So there's always something inside something. You see, the courses we study in the university, they are like onions. When you peel off one layer, another one is exposed. If you keep peeling it up, if you keep peeling it and you dig deeper and deeper and deeper, you keep finding so many things within. That is why people go ahead to do masters, do PhD, even inside PhD. You can still section that thing that was your project, that was your research topic. You can still divide it into smaller sections. So just the way we took our time in the first video to think about ourselves, about our lives, our behaviors, and dig deeper, you can also dig deeper into that course that you are studying. Check, has there ever been a particular topic that a particular lecturer took that stood out for you, that you could tolerate, or that you even liked, or that you enjoyed? Even if it is mathematics that you are studying, that particular topic, What are people, do your research. What are people doing with that particular topic? What is obtainable in our society today? What are the gaps? What are the opportunities that can come out of being knowledgeable and being skilled in that particular place? And how can you intersect it or overlap it with your interest or your talent or what you're good at? And there you are. You can have a whole profession, a whole career path, a whole business, and you would never ever lack what to do. Now, we talked about education, employment, and enterprise as the way to go when you are developing your skill or your talent. This is how the three of them are connected. You go to school, right? Any degree, find a way to fuse it together with your talent. Then you decide, do I want to work for someone or do I want to own a business? Now, if you want to own a business, you now have to go learn about businesses, how they work. How do I set up my own? If you want to work for someone, you have to prepare yourself. What do I need to do to become employed by another person? And even if you want to start up your business, in fact, a lot of experts recommend this. Work for someone first. In that line of business that you want to do, be employed under somebody. Learn the ropes. In fact, that is the concept of apprenticeship, right? Work in a firm that does that, or in a company or an agency that does that. See how they do things. There are so many things that you would, instead of learning from experience, from very, very bad experiences, you can already take note of it. And, when you are starting your own business, put together systems and workflows that will help you mitigate those kind of mistakes. You can work for people so that you learn the ropes when you want to start your own business. And in fact, most times it gives you a head start. It will also help you earn money so that you have capital when you want to start up your own business. So whether you are going the route of enterprise or you're going the route of employment, you can see that they all have their place. Now, if you want to be in academia, become like our lecturers, or you want to be a researcher, you can work for somebody to understand the real life application, just to know it better, so that when you're researching, okay, what do people actually need in this industry? What should I research into, shed more light on? What should we experiment with, and things like that? Especially people in the social sciences and humanities, they do a lot of social experiments, right? So you can use a workplace for something like that. You can even start a business as an experiment. There's nothing that people do not do nowadays. So whatever it is that you want to do, always think about it. First of all, how does what I'm currently studying intersect with what I love to do or what my interests are? How can I connect the two? And also, when I am connecting the two, what route do I want to take? Education, employment, enterprise, or do I want the best of all three worlds? Thank you so much for following so far. In our third video, we are going to be looking at staying with your it. And I hope to see you there. Bye. See you in the next one.